I was recently featured in a Yahoo Finance article highlighting the things that you must do immediately if you're in debt. One of my favorite things that I spoke about was playing the credit card arbitrage game. Now, if you're not familiar with that, what that means is that you utilize the 0% offers that credit card companies just give out to you when you open up a brand new credit card. Why would you do that, you ask? Why would you get into more debt? Well, the answer is pretty simple. If you're already in debt, meaning credit card debt, you're probably facing 20 to 30% of interest on a regular basis. Now, if you plan on tackling this, and if you're not doing it effectively and timely, this will guaranteed get away from you, and you may not end up paying this for years, if not decades. And that's a very scary thought. So one of my favorite strategies here is to open up a 0% credit card where they have promotions of 12 months 0% or 18 months at 0% interest. And the only thing you would have to pay is a 3% transfer fee just to take the balance from credit card A to credit card B. Well, when you do that, you actually give yourself some breathing room where interest isn't being accumulated at 20 to 30% on a regular basis. It's being accumulated at 0%. You only paid that 3% transfer fee, and now what you can do is set up a plan where you can pay off the balance in either 12 or 18 months. The caveat here is that you actually have to be consistent. You have to set up a budget. You have to understand where your money goes on a regular basis. On a recent video, we spoke about splitting your paycheck into two. One paycheck you put into a regular everyday account that you're gonna use to pay your rent or your mortgage, utilities, food expenses, and other leisurely activities, because you obviously have to have a life. That's most important. And then the second account that you're going to establish is a just-in-case account, a rainy day fund, whatever it is you want to call it. But I want you to emphasize the fact that that second account that you're going to open is going to be an account that you literally forget about. Just have it automatically placed into that account. I usually recommend a third of your paycheck, and make sure that that account does give you a return. And we're not talking about regular 0.01 interest in a regular bank account. You want to find a high yield savings account, or better yet, you can even put it in CDs or index funds, but make sure that money is also working for you. So once you have those two established, we can continue on with coming up with a strategy of paying down the rest of your debt. Now, what you're gonna do is calculate whatever that balance was that you transferred from credit card A to credit card B, and make sure that you budget enough to pay that entire balance off over the course of the promotional period. So if you transferred $12,000 from credit card A to credit card B, assuming that's already with fees, and you opened up that 0% card for 12 months, your goal is to pay down $1,000 a month against that card. And at the end of the day, you're debt-free when all is said and done. The same thing with 18-month promotional credit cards. And if you have a lot of other debt as well, listen, I get it. I've seen it. I understand that you're going through a lot here, but it's all manageable. You may want to open up maybe other credit cards as well, or you want to start tackling the smaller balances first, in addition to playing the credit card arbitrage game with your bigger balances. If worse comes to worse, you can always turn to family. You know, tell your grandparents or your parents, listen, I've gotten myself into this debt. I really don't know how it happened. If I continue paying this off at this rate, I'm probably gonna not finish paying it off until I'm 20, 30 years out from where we are today, and I can really use your help. And what you can find a lot of the time is that grandma and grandpa may actually give you that loan and end up forgiving it. Because also we come into play with annual gift exclusions and estate planning. All this stuff could already be in there as well. So it's a conversation that you must have if you're in debt. Don't be ashamed. It happens to a lot of people out there, and you want to make sure to tackle it ahead of time. And again, I want to emphasize this. When you open up those 0% credit cards, make sure you are on top of that. Read the fine print. A lot of the time, if you open them up, don't use it for purchases as well, because if you start using it for purchases, maybe the same promotion doesn't apply to purchases. It only balance transfers. Read the fine print. Make sure you understand how it's laid out, because if you start using it for purchases as well, that may not have the same promotional rate, and you're accruing interest on those purchases, because credit card companies are smart. The payments that you make will get applied sometimes to the lower interest balances and not the higher interest balances. So again, it really depends. You got to understand what you're doing here. And as long as you do it properly and you think this through and you plan it out, you can tackle that debt and breathe easy at night. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. And if there's a topic that you want me to cover on the next video, let me know. I'd love to do it.